Hello everyone. In this video of the Diffuse architecture overview, we're going to dive deeper into the Deepmind instrumentation and the Diffuse data model. Now, quick introduction to Deepmind. Deepmind is the modifications, that secret sauce, remember? The modifications that we made to nodeos to be able to take data out of the nodeos node and into the Diffuse platform, the Diffuse data model and services, which all flow through gRPC endpoints, and they all use protobuff definitions. We're going to dive into that a little bit. Now, if you run nodeos with --deepmind-enabled, you will see a lot of information being spewed out. And let me show you a little bit how this looks, because it might be like intimidating, but I'll give you the purpose for that. So if we look at the terminal here, we're seeing a sample output, and they look even more intimidating when they scroll like that, crazy in your face. But basically they're line-based and they exfiltrate all of the things that happen during execution, all the transaction traces, the database changes, and they're all then through the reading process, which we call mind reader, like linked through that standard output. They're read, and we slowly build, well, slowly, as fast as possible, but build a protobuff object, or a Go object, where we stitch these things back together. And let me show you the code there. It's called the console reader. This is the console reader that slowly builds a block and reads these lines, and then accumulates all the transaction traces and put them in the order of the block. And then this block object is what flows into the whole system through gRPC, through protobuff definitions. Every system is a streaming gRPC endpoint. So the merger, the relayer, mind reader is the first server of blocks. It flows out to EOSIO, FluxDB, the search indexer, and all these things. Everyone is fed with blocks in this format, protobuff, which is very neat. It has a lot of extensive tooling around. You can use that and plug it into all sorts of different languages. This is the data model, and also let me show you quickly the proto definitions here. This is in the package Proto EOSIO, all the things that are specific to EOSIO in the Diffuse stack. There are things that are common to the different implementation, like the search engine calls and the B-stream machinery, which we'll get into in another video. But these in the Proto EOSIO are things that are specific to EOSIO. The block, and for those who are already well versed in EOSIO, you'll see that producer signatures. This is known stuff, right? It looks like the block state, but there's some additional things like the transaction, the implicit transactions, what we don't normally see, the rate limiting variables that are extracted in addition to the rest. So these are not things that nodes normally spew out, right? You don't have APIs to read these things, but with the instrumentation we built, we can get that, take decisions that we normally wouldn't have, the information to take decisions, like rate limiting. And the most important thing, I guess, is the transaction trace. These things are the actual meat, of the execution of the chain. And in there, the important bit, action traces, where we actually see, things that you might have seen before, the receiver, the action, the time it was elapsed, and whatever, side effects it could have caused. The transaction trace will also hold sort of in a tree fashion all the actions that occurred, who triggered what, and all that. This is what you get when you query the GraphQL endpoint. When you go to EOSIO, you see those nested things. This is a transaction trace. There you have a list of such transaction trace in a block, and the block is the top level component that flows through the system. So hopefully this gives you a little better understanding of what Deepmind is. And also let me show you that this PR here, that's the PR that was merged inside of nodeos. So it's coming into the version 2 point something, probably higher than 2.0. It's not in the release by Block 1 and 2.0. We do have the releases in our repository, so you can get the Debian or for Mac or Linux, the release that are already instrumented with Deepmind. It's merged into nodeos codebase now, so you will get it with the next revisions. I'm not sure the version that is going to be out by Block 1. We'll see that, but it's going to have Deepmind directly inside it, so you won't need to install it separately, and you'll be able to work with Diffuse on top. and get all the benefits there. Okay, hopefully this is helpful. If you have any comments, put them in there in our Telegram channel, and we'll see you next time.